Rainy Heredia in Costa Rica, the site. Welcome to Scotiabank Concacaf League. It's a Nicaraguan side far away from home. Diriangen set to take on Club Deportivo Universitario out of Panama. Mike Watts welcoming you to tonight's telecast. 59 degrees Fahrenheit. It says 50% chance of rain. Clearly, a cell has worked its way over Heredia now, and it's very much 100% chance of rain at the home of Herediano. A look at the road to the final, and your eyes should make their way up to the upper left quadrant. Herediano could see one of these teams next if they're able to find their way past Santa Tecla and into the quarterfinal round. Well, of course, all thoughts are with Nicaragua as a nation. Surely their eyes have been cast upon what is a major opportunity for this Diriangen side that's made it to their first CONCACAF tournament in 21 years, going back to 1997. CBS News from the United States reporting that thousands are currently fleeing violence. Players from the team have tweeted seeking an end to violence. They won't host at least this opening round, and should they arrive to the quarterfinals, their quarterfinal matchup. But over 400 have been killed in over 3.5 months of protests against the government. And while this is an opportunity for excitement and anticipation, this CONCACAF League debut for Diriangen, clearly their hearts have a little bit more on them than simply football. On the other side, Universitario, this is a new beginning for the Panamanian side. A new name presented on June the 13th. They've already played some preseason games and even a 2-goal loss to Sporting San Miguelito under this new name. But this is a team that, after financial issues, was the combination of a merger between Chorrillo FC, who have had great success in CONCACAF competition in years past, CD Centenario of the second division, and Universidad Latina in Panama. The three groups coming together and creating a club that will hopefully stand the test of time. Chorrillo lasting 44 years in that iteration, and now there are fans that are hoping that it'll go for much, much longer than that. They've had incredible success, and perhaps this is what gives them the best opportunity to move forward. So really, for both of these teams, it's an opportunity to write new history and make a big step forward in this CONCACAF competition, one that begins with 16 teams and runs to the earliest days of November. It's its second year of competition as the Scotiabank CONCACAF League. This is somewhat of a offshoot of Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, and the idea that the Champions League used to bring 24 teams together, but now between Scotiabank CONCACAF League and Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, the opportunity to bring the highest level of club football to 32 teams across the region. And while Mexico, the United States, and Canada are not involved in the CONCACAF League, all these teams from Central America and the Caribbean are gaining an opportunity to eventually make their way towards the Champions League. And there's only 15 tickets will be punched. The final ticket will come out of this CONCACAF League campaign. So it's notoriety, it's a financial reward, it's a trophy, it's a spot in Champions League. There's a ton on the line. It all begins here for the Nicaraguan side, Diriangen, and for the Panamanians of Deportivo Universitario. The players set to take the field in Heredia. The neutral site game in this round of 16. And in the pouring rain, opportunity to make a big step toward the quarterfinals. Here come the players. Club Deportivo Universitario set to take on Diriangen of Nicaragua. Well, for Diriangen, this is what the lineup will end up being. Lionel Torres, the captain, is there, number 10. Oscar Pegui has an important task out in front of him here. Over 450 games as a player, and coming in to Richard Parra's place in March. Try and lead this group with Lester Acevedo as their goalkeeper. Through this opening round of play, having crossed 100 years of club football last year and winning their first title in over a decade. So the players meeting with the officials. Saw the Diriangen lineup there a moment ago. This Nicaraguan side, and again, is in their first Concacaf appearance since 1997. We're both a great goal-scoring team and notably a great defensive team last year in the Nicaraguan First Division, finishing second to Real Esteli in the Clausura tourney, and ultimately defeating them in the aggregate in the 2018 championship. They are in the black and white jerseys. Gil Herrera will be the referee. From Costa Rica, Carlos Fernandez, William Arrieta are the two linesmen. Carter Montero is the fourth official. A great honor for these four. And of course, this a little bit closer to home than perhaps anticipated. Here's the Club Deportivo Universitario lineup for this matchup. The Panamanians, previously known as Chorrillo FC. Vladimir Vargas is formerly the backup at San Francisco in Panama. He is the goalkeeper for this affair. Guillermo Sierra coming into the equation this year. Split time between Chorrillo and Real Esteli last year, the 28-year-old. And Sergio Moreno will certainly draw a lot of attention, the number 9, who most recently is of Peru club football. Diriangen and Universitario's available substitutes for this affair. Maybe a surprise that Brandon Mayorga isn't starting. They have a lot of hopes in the young 20-year-old Nicaraguan goalkeeper, and he doesn't find himself in the starting lineup. And Christian Fabiani, the ogre they call him, the 34-year-old Argentine, roundly criticized for his lack of conditioning. Is this up? Underway from Heredia. It's a neutral site game. The Nicaraguans of Diriangen taking on Club Deportivo Universitario of Panama. Well, there is a sizable Nicaraguan turnout for this. This is a massive game for Diriangen. Jason Coronel saying that this is a big commitment. They're working hard to try and excel, do a good job in this tournament, and perhaps make a run at the highest levels of their own tournament as well. Well, an early opportunity here for Universitario. Moreno to the near post, skipping off of Fula. It'll be another corner, a minute gone. Moreno again. This will fall kindly and away from Velarde. Anisis to play this out. Back to Acevedo. 5 years he's found himself on the bench more often than he's found himself on the field, but he's granted a pretty significant opportunity in this affair. Try and put a stamp on this in the early going. Well, it's turned over and getting in behind. Velarde, this will be a corner. Velarde goes crashing into the boards. Loaiziaga there defensively, forcing him out of play. 23-year-old native of Grenada. Oscar Villarreal take the corners from this side with his right boot. He'll switch off to his left. Villarreal, header stepped out, popped up and over Acevedo. Great opening save for Acevedo. Making his manager look good early. Cruz going to what many consider to be their second choice. Corner, Moreno near post. Will be another corner, yes. Defense from Cornell. José Nunez, check off to the corner. Good movement in the box from Fula. Ball played across. Nunez skipping this all the way through the 18. Recovered. Velarde swinging it in. This is blasted from distance. Blocked from Villarreal. And now the follow. Be a goal kick. Went unimpeded. Oh, good start for Lester Acevedo, who has played with the Nicaraguan youth national team. What a phenomenal reaction save. Just a little bit on that. Perhaps the surface was going to put it up and over regardless, but had the necessary reflexes to keep this out of his own net. Loaiziaga to throw his second season with Diriangen. Lofted by Jaramillo, who did not play or make the 18 in the loss to Sporting San Miguelito in the opener. Panamanian First Division. Guillermo Sierra. While player slips down, maybe a chance now to turn on this for Nunez. He himself stripped. Ruiz. Teles for Nino. Drives it long, brought down by Garcia. Well, the AR whistling for a foul. It does look like the referee was going to let that play out. Garcia went the distance up that touchline after a really positive touch. Fouled in a dangerous position. For Cacique. Diriangen. This ball wound to the back post. Teles lifted over Ruiz. The pressure coming. Villarreal. Ball lifted through. The flag is up. This is offside. It looked like Universitario would have that first crack and run a play. Wasn't meant to be. That's good work from Moreno. Minimum. Opai Jaramillo gets ahead. Out wide, Ramirez. Stripped in this Nicaraguan proud crowd. Trying to spur on that counter. Coronel from the side. Knocked to the ground by Ramirez. Last year, did not play in Concacaf League, but was on the bench 3 times. Churrillo was sent out in the quarterfinal by Santos de Guapolis of Costa Rica. Ensuing free kick. Drops down Ruiz. Luis Jaramillo is down, clearly in pain. Brief stints for him in Honduras. Has bounced around Panama. Header down by Nunez was a pretty dangerous position when Ruiz had to push in. Roberto Meneses, 18-year-old tossing in. Away from Ruiz. Down by Tellez. Coronel, can he switch the point? Ramirez got up. It prevented Coronel from getting that. There's Vladimir Vargas. Nunez dispossessed. Away from Torres. Velarde. Velarde got the cross away. It's punched this side by Acevedo. He's been active. A nice leading touch upfield. Ball played through. Battle all the way to the end for Coronel. It's time for a goal kick. Panamanians, a couple of preseason games. Vargas some playing time. Ended up defeating Santos de Guapolis before drawing Plaza Amador. Estadio, Eladio, Rosabel Cordero. And Heredia, Costa Rica. One of a couple games that being played neutral site in the opening round of the 2018 Scotiabank CONCACAF League. The 11-minute mark, still on level terms. This little spin to create a bit more room. We've seen him available. Velarde. Velarde sliding this up the line. Acevedo. This will be out of the reach of Velarde now. Falls well, Nunez. One step too many, trying to unleash cannon fire there. Torres. Not that time. Still maybe a chance to salvage something. Coronel, no. Bypassing Ruiz. Universitario trying to play through Velarde. Loaiziaga slides down. Ball skipping backward. Nunez in pursuit. Trying to burst through now. Meneses. Well, Meneses will want that back in the end. Thumbs up for the effort. Winner of this matchup would end up seeing either Herediano of Costa Rica or Santa Tecla of El Salvador, both of whom have pretty storied histories Concacaf play in the last couple of years. A road goal here. Massive for Universitario before they potentially bring this back to Panama. This is a Nicaraguan side with a lot of fight. Referee blows for a stoppage. Eric Tellez is down. He's played most every significant tournament that a Nicaraguan player can play in of late. Oh, he just non-contact injury. Falls on that all the wrong way. His back foot seemed to get caught up a little bit. Tellez has played in Gold Cup. He's played in World Cup qualifying. He's played in Copa Centro Americana. He's in an Olympic qualifying. He's one of the out-and-out top players available for this Nicaraguan group. He's been on the national team now going on 8 years and appeared nearly 30 times. Well, this is a painful exit. The left center back, Diriangen. He's just been the model of consistency these last few years. These last 5 years, he's played nearly 200 games. But they'll have to go on without him. Injured in the 15th minute. And hope he comes back in. Have to be prepared for the worst. Universitario making their move upfield. There's an appeal for a handball, goes unheard. Steered up the right-hand side, Velarde. You see that appeal coming from Moreno, and yeah, it does look like his right hand reaches back, makes contact with it on its way through. It's troubling. Slip ball played in. Ball wound across and handled by Acevedo. He comes off his line. Good stuff from Sergio Moreno, the captain. Diriangen in a hair of trouble here. They're struggling. Garcia. This would be entirely against the run of play. It's there now for Ruiz. Loaiziaga. Will deflect away. Loaiziaga has been all over the place in this opening 18 minutes. We've seen good stuff from Velarde as well on the opposite side. Ruiz trying to sidestep some trouble. Torres plays it to the right-hand side. Circling around Garcia. Save, Vargas got down, able to handle the rebound. Much better now for Diriangen. Ruiz goes down. Velarde still has his hands outstretched, looking for the reason why. Let's see what Ruiz has to complain about here. It doesn't look like he gets kicked right in his right shin on his way through. And this earlier, excellent ball from Torres. It's some crafty work from Garcia. Bit unlucky that Vargas so quick to that near post. 20th minute of play on level terms. Ruiz. And from Coronel. Little bit of a hold up. That was Luis Coronel. Allowing this to play through. Garcia slipped off his shoe. A roll up here, Velarde. Long diagonal, falls kindly, ball bouncing, ricocheting out for a corner. Well done, Pedro Janine. Oscar Villarreal off to the corner. Villarreal. Ball coming down, Velarde. Slid aside. Bouncing ball, Garcia spins out. Estadio, Eladio, Rosabel, Cordero, and Heredia. Homa Verdiano in the Costa Rican Primera Division. Tonight playing host to the Concacaf League's round of 16. Opening round. All kinds of juicy storylines in this round of 16, to be sure. Club Franciscan of Tanique and Walter Ferretti. Another matchup that's ongoing right now. Later on tonight, Santos de Aguapolis, who last year lost to Olympia in the final, take on Portmore from Jamaica. The fouls from Oscar Villarreal. Just gets stuck in and releases his arms up high. Brought down Garcia, the shot is on and wide. That's going to be a handball. Villarreal, who's working up the right-hand channel now. Certainly in this round of 16, the Nicaraguans against the side from Martinique, the only amateur group that made it into Concacaf League this year, Club Franciscan. Going to draw some eyeballs in Nicaragua. They had a fateful meeting in Gold Cup last year. Martinique and Nicaragua. Diriangen goes to work. A lot of changes to their defense last year. Their goal was to try and avoid having to improvise in a tournament of the magnitude of Scotiabank Concacaf League. It's a clever idea, the back heel, but it falls off from Moreno. Stepping forward, Villarreal couldn't take on possession. Instead, Ruiz. Of Coronel. And Davila is there too. It is a throw here for Universitario. Collision, but Nunez on the ball. Over by Pedro dos Santos, Pedrinho, it might be. Luis Coronel's down, back to his feet. Dos Santos looked to operate quickly. It's Coronel hanging on from Velarde. Universitario goes to work here. Having not had much of the ball of late, 26th minute. Villarreal foul. Jason Coronel, who's played over 100 games in the Primera Division, Diriangen committing that. Circling around up the left-hand side. There's contact. This will be a goal kick, nothing doing. Well, the best couple of opportunities in this game stopped by Lester Acevedo. Goalkeeper for Diriangen, Nicaragua. Universitario has had its moments. Really, both teams have found openings in midfield, but they haven't really been able to find a way to transfer that into meaningful offensive attack. Holding up, Garcia launching, and it's caught by Vargas. Meneses holds it in at the touchline, knocking in Villarreal. Bounce over, is there a handball? There's an appeal to the AR, it goes unhurt. Nunez is pointing directly over. Just a goal kick. See if we can't get a better look. It looks like he goes running through and throws his arms out at it. This is Ruiz. Well, it does look like he puts his pectoral muscle out toward it. Perhaps that's more in line with what the assistant had seen. Surely for Universitario fans watching in Panama, they're going to feel like they've been hard done twice now. Ball put in play, caught by Vargas, real trouble. It's about 400 miles that separates central Nicaragua from central Costa Rica. Tellez, who was injured earlier and stretchered off, of course returned. No substitute had come. Left-hand channel under attack, Henry Nino. Back to defend and now throws his body into it. Easy clearance. Diriangen nearly pulled away with that, but now the ball fired across. Curiamba in Nicaragua is located south of Managua. About a 390-kilometer drive, one stadium to the other. Player down, Universitario, opposite touchline here. Acevedo will put it back in play. Everybody good to continue. 31 minutes complete. Heredia. Diriangen, Universitario battling in this round of 16 matchup. Villarreal curling it to the back post. An attempt goes begging for Nunez. Well, it's a small but mighty crowd. Well, this is a great run up the left-hand channel. Will lead to something. Two options arriving in the box. The service, Moreno. It gets all the way through toward Villarreal, who recovers. Trying to pick out Moreno now. Acevedo threw a hand up at that. Will be a goal kick here. Mauricio Cruz has been focused, as many coaches in this Concacaf League campaign have been, on the physical rigors to come with opening up their season more so than the tactical side. It does lead to some interesting early tactics from both sides. Round of 16 meetings, you think about Universitario, the Panamanians had never seen a Nicaraguan side before. Entry into the area, there's contact. Universitario has felt like a couple of opportunities gone by the wayside by way of the referee. Velarde. Davila there may have gotten away with one. Benitez couldn't take it away. Does win the throw. Garcia helping to set the tempo here. Davila. Skitter away from him. It's a throw here. It's immediately intercepted. Luis Coronel has the favor returned, and now it's a foot race. Kept in at the touchline. Fula. Spiked by Acevedo. He's been called up to the national team for Nicaragua, but it's never stuck. He hasn't been capped. Diriangen goalkeeper. Slide in. On the players, Universitario clearly heated. Ramirez. This is back foot pulled in, and it's not like it's a two-footed tackle or something all that dangerous, but he did miss with the front foot. Does sort of change the complexion of things, doesn't it? Threaded ball knocked out. Marcel Nunez wants to move here. Universitario. Still 8 minutes in stoppage time to play before the halftime whistle. Dos Santos. There's the switch. There's an overlap. Ruiz won't play to it. Tellez. All played through off the back heel. Moreno almost sprung. Torres lines things up. Gets buried into the ground. Throw for the Nicaraguans. Dos Santos. Lost by Coronel. 4 players go colliding together. Tellez gets back to defend. That early injury, and yet he's continued on, soldiered through. Certainly wouldn't want to be the move Mauricio Cruz wanted to make at this present moment. 26 domestic titles, incredible success. One every decade going back to the 40s. Diriangen. Couple players go down. It'll fall for Torres, who's able to make a move by. Blasted out of play by Samir Ramirez. Ruiz. Tellez. Well, we'll look back at the perseverance. Try and pull this ball away. It's been a knockdown, drag out kind of affair to this point. Ruiz has come away with the ball. Effort for Torres, snipped out. Field by Tellez. Torres misfires. Able to lead forward with his first touch. Now sliced across to the opposite post. Villarreal had this, get up high on him and really roll away. Good move. There's the service. Universitario is up to the task in the scissoring effort. Ruiz goes unhurt in the end. Cornell.
Cerca, 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 cerca.
Can't get it to the touchline.
Cerca sin falta.
Moisiga. Still 3.5 or so to go. Opening half from Estadio Eladio Rosabel Cordero. Nicaraguans playing in this match are the Clausura champions. First championship. Diriangen going back 2006, over a dozen years. Well, they strike first in this round of 16. The service for Torres. Torres growing into this, one of the Newell's old boys of Argentina. Has a remarkable pedigree. Dos Santos all the way back for Acevedo here. Neither side has really shown all that much quality to indicate the scoreline should be anything different. But all three home teams did win yesterday. Rabenito Motagua, Club Deportivo Foz. So you think that perhaps Nicaraguans need to find something here in this unfamiliar ground. Touched away by Garcia on his run. He's slayed from behind. The crowd shouting for Samir Ramirez to be placed in the book. Over to Santos and Garcia as well. Played long, Tellez. It'll hold up near the byline. Goes off the corner flag for a throw, according to the assistant. D tossed in here, just short of halftime. Dos Santos. Villarreal. There's a lot of room out here. All slipped ahead. Tellez in pursuit. Sergio Moreno, again, gonna make his bones here. Two minutes at a time separate us from the opening half conclusion. Placed down by Villarreal. Ball played ahead, now cut across. Well, the flag is up. So this never was going to count. Velarde went sliding into the post. And yes, that's a good call. Meneses is offside. Have to move a few steps back here. Garcia trying to hold things up. Throws his foot out at it. Nunez starts it up the other way for Universitario. Had her redirected back toward Nunez. Now beyond the halfway line, Villarreal serving out in front. Acevedo will make the catch off the bounce. Assuming this gets across the halfway line, you could book this to halftime. Well, there it is, halftime whistle. Nothing in this first half that would make you think one team deserved to lead over the other. Better opportunities on goal from Universitario in the opening 45 minutes, but Diriangen has very much held their own. It's been very much back and forth, but without a ton of precision. And so it's on level terms. Diriangen of Nicaragua playing in this foreign land of Heredia, Costa Rica against Universitario side that's never played against Nicaraguan opposition. And headed toward the locker room. The rain has ceased, but still they'll take refuge for a few moments' time. It's Diriangen 0, Universitario 0 at halftime. Welcome back to Scotiabank Concacaf League, round of 16 action from Morelia in Costa Rica. Level terms at halftime. The statistics would bear it out. 4 shots on target to 3. Of course, nothing actually finding its way through. A couple significant saves, in particular from Lester Acevedo, but the scoreline really does fit the game to this point. As the referee looking out over his domain. Diriangen of Nicaragua, first time they've been in here in over 2 decades, a CONCACAF tournament. On the other side, Universitario side that's merged 2 other entities, but the Chorrillo side that was in this tournament last year, one of 4 to make a return for the 2nd year Scotiabank CONCACAF League. Here we go, second half will play. Will Diriangen have a response and put themselves on the front foot before heading off to Panama next Thursday night? Or will it be Universitario who either pull out a result here, get a crucial away goal, or simply see this out at its current margin, put themselves in good position heading back home? Slide from Verfula. So going around Cornell. Torres circling all the way around, has come back to the ball, got the service away, but nothing special. For Cornell, brought down by Dos Santos, who's previously been with Perez Zeledon in Costa Rica. This blasted from way outside on a wing and a prayer. Vladimir Vargas, 4 starts last year for San Francisco. Didn't see much of the field. You think about the LPF, and notably Tauro FC has had some really good results in CONCACAF in years past. Plaza Amador, their biggest rival. San Francisco, Rabanito, Sporting San Miguelito. Some really notable names coming out of Panama. And of course, a great achievement for the Panamanians, reaching the World Cup in Russia as a nation, their first time qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. Really is an incredible moment in Panamanian football, because not only did they qualify, but before they qualified last year, back end of World Cup qualifying campaign in CONCACAF, saw Tauro go out and knock off FC Dallas, opening round of Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, and really hold their own at that higher level. Ball knocked outside. Velarde, who switched between the 2 channels in the opening half, sends it out in front. It's clipped up and over by Moreno. Moreno scored against Alajuelense in 2012, that incredible run for Chorrillo that, well, it ended in the group stage. Came with immense results in their favor, a 1-1 draw away to Costa Rica against Alajuelense, and be able to get a win over Cruz Azul on the road, a 0-0 after falling 6-0 previous meeting. That's remarkable. As the Universitario head coach, Oscar Upegui. Villarreal didn't sneak that through. A little shove from Sierra, clears a bit of space. He does have to put it out for a throw. this Nicaragua heavy crowd is fallen hush silent. Costa Rica for the moment. Nicaraguan group dealing with a handful of their top players, foreign players that have cut down for a couple of reasons. Maybe a chance to break through for Universitario, but not that time for Nunez. Both the new rule, Nicaraguan League, limiting foreign players down to 4 per team. Also the continued unrest. Some foreign players a bit nervous. 5 minutes into this second half. Diriangen, Nicaragua, Universitario. First Concacaf game under this new shield. Of course, they've kept that very familiar looking jersey that Chorrillo became synonymous with. From the right flank, Henry Nino. On the reach of Torres. Nice back heel to keep things alive. Moreno moving it further. Nunez, Moreno, Nunez still able to get it out wide. And now the shot comes ringing in. Velarde. Universitario will have to settle for a throw. Meneses moving forward, the 19-year-old Panamanian. Good stuff from Velarde. Velarde goes down, there's the whistle, it's a penalty. Universitario's felt wronged a couple times in this matchup, and well, this was a bridge too far. Diriangen driving inside the area, and that's a clear push from Erlen Ruiz. And he had cover behind him. That's the frustrating part. Eric Tellez, one of the best central defenders you'll find. And well, Ruiz is still trying to make his point. Velarde's gotten back to his feet as he just drawn the penalty that put Universitario on the front foot with that giant away goal to give them a margin of 2 to work with the rest of the way in this series. Moreno's behind the ball. In the 54th minute, is this where Universitario gets on the board? Acevedo backs into goal, and it's in. Universitario on the board. Sergio Moreno. Well, there's the foul. Came in from Ruiz. And Moreno with a missile. And he needed that because Acevedo did guess correctly. Did get down on that side. Moreno on the Panamanians World Cup roster. And the captain Universitario puts them ahead. The 54th minute. Will this open things up? Diriangen, you get one goal here. You would trail going back to Panama for the second leg, but you put yourself in a much easier position. Torres fouled from behind and wants to work quickly. Diriangen. Nobody in the box. Vladimir Vargas steps over. Moreno, 54th minute. The Universitario, their first lead, the first Concacaf game with this new shield, new name. This had stayed in play, but Tellez under pressure. Coming, Meneses. Second ball joining the equation. A shove from Tellez. Keep the ball in favor. Diriangen. Coming into this, think about this Diriangen side in recent years, and that's a heavy foul in behind on Coronel. He's gotten back to his feet. Dos Santos is standing over the ball. The 26-year-old native of Brazil in his second season. Diriangen puts it back in play. Diriangen said it's nothing against any of the players that left. But others have earned the opportunity to come in and play for them in this CONCACAF League. One which a lot of players see the opportunity to potentially give themselves a better contract, better future, better opportunities. You win a couple rounds here and you never do know. Surely the Ticos, Costa Rica, well aware of what's going on in this match, being on their soil. But Herediano awaits, and should they find their way through Santa Tecla, it'd be a massive opportunity for one of these players to show out, potentially find themselves playing for a club that regularly finds themselves in Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League. And isn't that the dream? Corner coming. Diriangen, 59th minute. Of course, you win this tournament, you go to CONCACAF Champions League on your own. Ruiz goes short. Coronel returns. Ruiz winding it up. Header steered toward near post from Tellez. Off the first corner of the game for Diriangen. Decent form. Well, this is all broken together really quickly now. The turn, Nunez. It's almost as if he hadn't anticipated that. Ball slicing through for Luis Jaramillo. Jaramillo's looking for a change. Now, it's not quite as drastic as perhaps a Jamaican side like Portmore United, who are some 6-7 weeks away, scheduled start of their campaign. But both these teams in the early stages, their seasons, and some of these players aren't quite ready to go full 90 yet, full exertion. We're at the hour mark now. Universitario's played one competitive match, Sporting San Miguelito, a 2-0 loss. Nicaraguans are waiting to see what the future holds for them. Nothing scheduled yet for their league. Well, here it comes now from Universitario. Moreno trying to bulldoze his way through. Velarde made that initial move to create. Watch this. Oisiga just tripping himself up. Just trying to shade that out wide, and it just never did come. Corner on the way. Now off of Dos Santos. Samir Ramirez moving forward. Ramirez. Chested down, the shot is up and over. Got wide too. Moreno did really well to trap this off his chest, then try to make something of it. Gosh, if that goes in, it's the early goal of the tournament, albeit just in the opening stage. Maybe a sign of things to come creatively for Universitario if they're to try and make their way out of Costa Rica with a better result. Just one road goal. Luis Jaramillo is down now. He'd been asking for a substitute a couple moments ago. There's the foul on Luis Coronel. Begui gesturing out. Well, that's enough for Jaramillo. "30-year-old all he had here, 64th minute. He'll make for the first substitute. John Montenegro comes in, just 4 appearances last year on the Panamanian side. It's his 2nd year with the organization. Chance for the 19-year-old to get himself some significant game action here in Concacaf League's round of 16. Well, as one would expect with a game of this magnitude, it is being televised in Panama. These players arriving a day ago, Costa Rica. As you see there, Montenegro coming on. Took a team photo at the airport in Costa Rica. Most jackets and ties. All business. Club Deportivo Universitario. It's really that first big team business trip in its new iteration. Villarreal flicks onward, Montenegro slipping it through, trying to hold up. It's back, Villarreal puts it in. Crucial second away goal for Universitario. And Moreno has bagged the penalty, and now he's assisted the goal by Villarreal in the 66th minute of play. And Montenegro coming off the bench, showing really good vision. Make no mistake, Moreno could have tried to force that, but instead he sees the trailing run entering the area. He pumps the brakes, plays it for Villarreal. Guy who debuted with Chorrillo back in 2013. Comes off a career-high goal-scoring campaign. Villarreal well slotted on the finish. And it's 2-0. Change coming. Abner Acuna coming in. Abner Acuna started now the last 3 years. Comes off the bench in this. This is a foul against Universitario, and rather the flag going up there. It's near side official. There's all kinds of incidental contact, but offside call the right one. Fula, the Colombian first and second division player. Much of his time at Union Magdalena. 2 goals in about 13 minutes time. Moving the difference right now. Make no mistake, Universitario could certainly push down the accelerator here, try and put this thing away. Acuna coming in, and it's Ruiz that's given away. As Diriangen trying to find an answer here. The Cacique side just not able to put it all together offensively. Referee telling Luis Coronel no more. It's been on both the giving and the receiving end of a handful of fouls, both in the run of play and in transition. Well, booking a yellow card in the 69th minute. Referee finally showing a card for the first time in this affair. Fula just lets his forearm get up high and go at the back of Villarreal's head. Beg your pardon, Henry Nino there, yellow card. The 69th minute. Villarreal held back to his feet. allowed to stay on, as that was a yellow card worthy foul. There's the penalty, came in the 54th minute. Sergio Moreno. And Moreno involved on the second goal as well. 65th going into the 66th minute. Slotting it to the opposite post. Villarreal to finish. And it's a 70-minute two-goal lead for Universitario of Panama. Elsewhere, club Franciscan taking on Walter Ferretti. That game at a similar stage in the second half of play. The side from Martinique going to take a giant step forward. They're qualifying for the quarterfinals. It's booted away. Nunez, corner coming for Universitario. Josio Nunez there jostling a bit. In swinging corner. Header is off frame. Fula got up. But it was deflected on the way. It's another corner now. Header steered aside. The Nicaraguans. Villarreal couldn't combine there. And it's Diriangen's now. Mentioned a lot of big players leaving over this offseason as Eric Alcazar coming on. Yellow card first issued to an Universitario player. Cesar coming on. Dos Santos, the Brazilian, coming out. Chance to serve this along. Shot is on, up and over. Montenegro, the trailing runner. Universitario's looking for another here. Diriangen trying to move this across the halfway line. Stripped away from Coronel. Recovered now, Jason Coronel. Backwards pass, dangerous one. Moreno is in pursuit. Bounding over, Acuna. Acuna on the ball now. One of the players, it's been said, with the highest projection in Nicaragua. Those are big words for the 21-year-old, but he's his third year earning the regular starts. Diriangen in their top division. There are a lot of young players on both sides, and it's not to say that there aren't veterans amongst the group. But Tellez, 29, and Ruiz, 29. El Cesar coming off the bench, 30, the oldest. Diriangen. On the other side, you look at Universitario, and obviously Vladimir Vargas is 38 years old, and Armillo is 30, as is Fula. Everyone else under the age of 30, and a handful of starters. Samir Ramirez, 21. Velarde, 21 years old. This tournament has opened the door for some of these younger players to see the spotlight earlier than perhaps they ever have before. Foul from Guillermo Sierra. Jason Coronel got demolished, and Luis Coronel came to his defense. Still 14 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. And the stay in. It won't for Villarreal, the second of the goal scorers. Club Deportivo Universitario. Second leg coming. Panama on Tuesday, August the 7th. What's the advantage going to be? Nunez! Oh, what a finish! Absolutely brilliant from Nunez. Well, it's all love for Nunez. It should be. That's a dominant finish. A straight-on poke. Blasting it into the roof of the net. Villarreal, a goal already. This time has the vision to play this through. And they get Acevedo leaning the wrong way. In the 77th minute of play, Nunez has scored. So Nunez, the number 10, Moreno, the number 9, Villarreal, the number 7, all positionally about where you would anticipate those numbers, have all gotten on the board. And for Universitario, it's going to be extraordinarily difficult to see Diriangen come through, but it's not like we haven't seen significant comebacks before. They've done really well in this second half to pull away. Diriangen damper the Nicaraguans' hopes. Mauricio Cruz admitted it. He said tactically there have been some inaccuracies. Nino taken away, but he said he understood the mental load of all that's going on back home. Villarreal. Reversed back, Villarreal. Villarreal still allowed through. The shot is hot and in. Sergio Moreno. 4 goals now for Universitario. It's an absolute blowout. This This is such a good run of form. It's dummied through by Nunez. It's all smiles right now for Villarreal. Moreno's second. And how slick a finish is that? Nothing Universitario, all road goals away to Heredia and Costa Rica against this Nicaraguan side. And in less than half an hour, Diriangen's dreams been dashed. Omar Instrosa will come on. He's played some pretty significant games. Corcaminos in Asensio in Mexico played in Copa MX, and that included against some of the giants there, Tijuana and Chivas de Guadalajara, the reigning Concacaf Champions League title holders. That's enough for Velarde, who certainly did his job on the day. He'll leave without a goal, but in the first half, he was really the bright light. Universitario that really didn't find a lot going their way. And for Lester Acevedo, he didn't have a bad first half. He made a couple of significant plays, but it's all crumbled around you. Defense hasn't helped him nearly enough, and when Universitario became a little bit slicker in their passing, became a little bit more creative, Diriangen just has not had answers for it. And it means that Universitario is, well, a heavy, heavy favorite to go through to the next round. You look elsewhere, 80th minute in Fort de France, Martinique. Club Franciscan has a 1-goal lead over Walter Ferretti. For these Nicaraguan sides, well, that would really be the more painful of the losses. It's one thing to lose to a team like Universitario, have this history in this tournament, but Club Franciscan arriving through the Caribbean qualifying process, knocked off Central FC of Trinidad and Tobago, an amateur group that's led by 6-7 members of Martinique's Gold Cup squad. This Department of France isn't even an official FIFA member, simply a CONCACAF member. At home, has given themselves an advantage that they can hope to carry Costa Rica next week, as Club Deportivo Walter Ferretti also unable to play at home due to the ongoing conflict in Nicaragua. So a lot going on here. Early stages of CONCACAF League 2018. Chance maybe to grab one back. Avila. Not much on that from Acuna. As we've reached the 83rd minute. Think about the way the bracket does set up, and well, it's not kind to Universitario, to be sure. If they were to get out of this, Santa Tecla or Herediano look to be next. Herediano certainly has to be a favorite, as a change is coming. Christian Fabiani set to make his CONCACAF League debut. That's enough for the captain, Sergio Moreno. He stepped in, took the penalty. Velarde drew. And he scored the 4th most recent goal in the 79th minute. And so it's 99 for 9. Fabiani trying to hold up play. Lifted ball over the back line. Cut out at a vital moment. This is brought down. Torres reversing. Acuna wasn't fouled. That would have been 4 or 5 yards outside the penalty area. And this is a foul against Universitario. Leonel Torres getting roped to ground. So a set piece, Diriangen to maybe try and get back into this thing. They'd still need 4 away to Panama if they were to score this, but it does put them at least in contention to have a little breathing room should they concede. Stepping over, there's the ball ripped in, handled from Torres by Vargas. Vargas is in no hurry. Bit of an ugly exit from Plaza Amador. He's had to go through quite a number of challenges. See Nunez, Villarreal, goal piece. And Moreno picking up a double. And at 86 minutes, it's 4-0 Universitario. Attempt to hold this up by Fabiani. He was offside. And Fabiani, to be blunt, is taken to a bit of controversy within the local media in Panama for the shape that he's come in with. Guy who's played at a really high level over a lot of years. Fabiani's played in the Mexican second division. Veracruz was conditioning that came into play there. He was one of the big ticket signings. They were pretty high on what he could bring. Certainly technically gifted. And how things will progress, Fabiani remains to be seen. Did score against Santos de Guapolis in a preseason friendly, and one has to wonder if perhaps that's tipping hand to what could be on the horizon for Universitario, because they are that potential quarterfinal matchup. I think there's something to it. Fabiani knocks it out wide. Villarreal. Instrosa. It's turned over, laid ahead by Nunez. Coronel, signed by Torres. It's Torres again. That's the only team he's ever played for outside Argentina. Striding forward and chipped. Put over the crossbar. Universitario seems content with this result. You have to say this is a great start. Their Concacaf League season, and they hope is going to stretch till October, start of November. by Garcia. Coronel. Hold up. Cesar. Here goes Cesar again. Torres was fouled. Three minutes at a time. Service is cleared out. Arriving near the byline, Avila. Fabiani goes down. It's a yellow card. Oh, I see he is in behind, but Jason Coronel stepped forward and brings Fabiani to ground. Late game tonight, Portmore United and Santos de Aguapolis. Jamaican side against the Costa Rican side. This ball laid through. Oh, the finish isn't there from Jorge Garcia. He has scored double-digit goals in his young career, the 19-year-old. Maybe a bit overeager. He did a great job of holding that run up and getting through, and he just wasn't able to cut that back across the grain. Still one more minute to play here before the series turns to Panama. Little back heel. Race entering the penalty area. Pushed away from Strosa. Nunez and Villarreal are both a bit incensed. And here's your reason why. Woo. Yeah, Nunez almost took one to the head from Jason Coronel. One wonders if that'll add a little something when this series turns to Panama. It's full time. Universitario away in Costa Rica, knocking off Diriangen of Nicaragua 4-0. Led by the man of the match on the night, Sergio Moreno, the captain, the first goal and the last. The penalty spot in the 54th, in the run of play in the 79th minute. And it's enough for this Panamanian side to see their way through. Moreno is the man of the match for his phenomenal efforts. 2 goals in the affair with Villarreal and Nunez, the others. The second leg comes Tuesday, August the 7th. Until then, for our entire crew, Mike Watt saying thanks for watching. Final score, Universitario 4, Diriangen 0. Good night.